Welcome back to the Meet the Bus podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Jeffrey Reckes, and this is episode 12. And today, we got a very special episode. We're in person, again, the second ever in-person episode. And today, I got a very special guest with me. My guy, on my left, your right, today, marched with the Colts from 2016 to 2019, marched trumpet with them. He also marched Freedom Percussion as a cymbals player in 2018.
Yes,
we went to high school together.
We did.
We went to high school together in St. Charles, Missouri.
Yeah.
And then we also went to college together for a little bit.
I
was there first. Let's just get that out of the way.
No, let's settle this right now. I went to community college.
Right.
Gotta get the
credits.
Right.
Gotta get the credits.
Cheaper.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And then I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Audio sounds cool. Music is cool. I like music.
Yeah.
Let's go for that. So the MTSU was like, hey, we got a good program. I was like, sweet. And I think I was like, oh wait, I think Jeff goes there.
I remember you like texting me. You're like, do you still go to like MTSU? I was like, yeah.
How the fuck do you know that?
I was like, I do. I'm like, no one knows. Like no one knows I'm here.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. So I'm just a sheep.
Also, should I say your name? We almost got there at the end.
Yeah, the name is probably
almost got there in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live and in person today. With my guest, Zach Adams, right here. Welcome onto the show, good sir.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for coming on.
Go to CSR. Beautiful. Lovely. It's lovely.
Oh my goodness. How you doing, man? How you been doing?
I'm well.
Yeah. Tell the people a little about yourself.
Oh gosh.
Little
well,
bit.
Here I am. No.
Here I am once again. You go to MTSU.
I do.
Still going.
Yeah.
Audio production major.
Yes, sir.
All the good things.
Yep.
Yeah.
I originally minored in recording studio or recording.
Recording industry.
Thank you. That's the one. Yeah.
I got you.
Then I was like, so I'm doing mass comm now for my minor.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Kind of do some other things with that.
Where are you at with school now and all that? Like, how much do you have left to go? Because I know, like, when you came in my junior year, it was crazy because, like, how it kind of all happened was, like, one day I went to my class. It was the beginning of the fall semester.
Oh, yeah.
And I sat into my survey
of the recording industry.
Survey of the recording industry class.
Yeah.
I go to sit in. This is like a big, like, probably like 100-person lecture hall, easily, something like that.
Yeah, there were a lot of people in there.
I go to sit down, and I'm sitting in the middle row. I make friends with the guy on my right. Super cool. We're just chilling. We go through class, and at the end of class, I look to the left.
Yeah.
And you're just...
Did I look at you at the same time? Where we're like...
Yeah, no, it was like I saw the back of your head. I was like, no fucking way right now. I was like... Did he actually? I was like,
no shot,
Zach. Like, it was literally like class was over. We had went over like the syllabus. It was done.
Yeah.
I looked. We all got up to leave, and I was just like, Zach, and you're like,
holy shit,
what,
Jeffrey? What? What is this?
And then every day after, I remember we just walked outside. I was like, what? I'm like, how here? Like how?
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, I thought no one would find this little school.
Right. Yeah.
Because like otherwise, like the only reason I knew about MTSU was like the whole like basketball team run they had in, like 2015. It's like they were like a 15 seed in 2015 in the tournament, and they beat Michigan State. Like that's the only thing I knew them for. So I was like, they don't have a good basketball school, by the way. Like they're about to fire their basketball coach. I came here being like, they got good athletics, right? Like they're on team. No.
From what I've heard, especially the football team.
Yeah.
Woof.
R.I.P. Rick Stockstill, by the way. That just happened this week. Rick Stockstill, the coach of 18 years, just got fired. Ooh. Just got fired. It's insane. Let's get into a little drum corps, shall we?
Sure.
We are here for the drum corps podcast. We had to get you, introduced up to the people a little bit.
This is true. Yeah.
Let's get you into it. So, what got you? You're a trumpet player.
I am.
Is that like? Would you say
I guess.
Is?
Yeah. I don't really play as much anymore.
Is that like your primary? You would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
What got you into that?
My mom was the biggest. Hey, do this. Do band. I wasn't in like a sports team that was for school. Mm-hmm. I did sports outside of it, but then things happen with those. And
you were like a legendary soccer player, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, actually, Messi.
You were supposed to go pro.
I was Messi's idol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
No, he learned from you.
Right.
That's why he won a World Cup.
Right. He was like, I want to be just like him. Yeah. So and I was like, Messi's not. But no, middle school, I joined band. I actually went into the middle school that I went to not knowing anyone. Yeah. And so that's, being a wee lad and that happening, it's
just trying to find your way through.
Yeah, a little daunting.
It's tough.
Yeah, and the very introverted person that I was at the time.
Right.
Did that, It was cool. Shout out to Miss Ablin.
Shout out to Miss Ablin.
Bro.
Oh my God, I forgot that name.
Bro.
I didn't go to Francis Allen Middle School. That's the one you went to,
yeah.
right? I went to Bryan. I went to Bryan, so stanky little Bryan.
Everybody stanky little Bryan.
Stanky little Bryan. But yeah, dude, shout out Miss Ablin. She's incredible.
Bro,
incredible teacher. I mean,
incredible person, incredible teacher.
So many good stories, dude.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah. So you went basically like to that little like pick an instrument night type deal. Yeah. See, I don't know. I never did that because
well, you were playing trumpet out the womb, right? Like you came out playing some like Dizzy Gillespie or something.
There was no like for me. There was no like, hey, do you want to try out like this one? Try out this one. Yeah. Like no, I went out and I was like, that's mine.
Yeah.
Like
I will say I didn't do like the test the instruments or anything.
Yeah.
But I wasn't exactly. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll just do trumpet.
Right.
It didn't start off in like passion for the instrument.
Right.
I was just kind of like,
let's do it.
Yeah. I originally, fun fact, wanted to do percussion, but I was told that they don't play real music, which I mean they do.
They really do.
They do.
They play some really good real music.
Insane.
What a hater.
Yeah.
Level 10 hater.
Yeah, a little paved.
Little paved.
But
yeah.
But yeah, played that throughout high school. Mm-hmm. A little bit after community college, I was in some of the ensembles there.
Nice.
Just to do. It was dope.
Absolutely.
But
what got you like kind of introduced into the activity? Because I mean, for me, I know this knowing you, but maybe sharing with the people. I know that your mom did the color guard with Star of Indiana.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So was that kind of like? I don't know if you want to talk on that and kind of give the people the story.
Yeah. So obviously she did Star of Indiana. Mm-hmm. She was what do they call her, a rook out? So just like 1 year.
She just did it 1 year.
Yeah.
Did she do it like? Cause like I always feel like the golden years are heard like between like the 1990 season and like 94. Sounds like I'm talking about like basketball or whatever. But like I mean, there's so many like I mean Donnie Van Doren. I mean we have
the drill writer. Started with a Z.
Zingali.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I mean we had who else come out of that? Matt Harloff.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Why did I blank so hard on that when I've talked about this man so much on this podcast? But yeah, I mean so many legendary teachers who are like big figures in the game. Tim Snyder as well marched in kind of that time period of like, you know, when Star of Indiana was rocking.
Yeah.
The good old days of drum. What year did she march? I
want to say she marched the second year they were formed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just God tier off the bat. Like, it was no challenge.
And a big part of it was because they had a sponsor. They were one of the only people that had a sponsor, I believe, at the time.
Really?
Yeah. And so...
Holy shit.
Because of their sponsor, their dues were actually less than most corps.
Because they were, like, funded by something else to help.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also, they had all the best instructors brought in.
Right.
And so... and a lot of people are like, oh, they bought their way into finals. It's like... I mean, yeah, they bought... They
got outside sources of revenue.
Right.
Basically, they outsmarted the system.
Yeah. But also they needed the members to be good enough to do it. Like it's
right. They also need to be good.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole BD theory that they also buy their way into finals.
Right.
And then we like learn from the members that it's like, no, I mean we're just as hard.
We're just actually good.
We just do it.
Right. We just we just kill it every time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Did she ever tell you any stories about her time in the activity? Like as you were growing up, or was it kind of just like...
Honestly, I don't remember any specific ones right off the bat.
Yeah.
I know that her C partner was the drum major.
Right.
And one of her best friends, I want to say that she met him when they were marching.
Okay.
I don't remember, but he was one of the bass drummers. I want to say he was bottom bass.
Hell yeah. Huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Massive.
Actually though. Yeah.
Massive.
But yeah, his name was Phil something.
He was Phil
something.
He was Phil.
He was Phil.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, I was able to meet him and stuff at one point, and he was super cool. She would always talk about, various memories that she has of it.
Yeah.
Throughout my whole life. I never had the moment of like, I'm enthralled, like just enthralled by the whole thing. This is what it's got to be. Yeah. I never really had that.
Right.
And so whenever I started to get into the community and stuff, I would, be like, yeah, my mom marched Star.
And they're all like,
yeah, and everyone freaks out, and I'm like...
I remember, like, when I was in high school, it was like after I did my first year, and I remember, like, one of the competitions, you had the jacket.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did you get that?
Yeah. Like I was sitting there, I was like, it's my mom's.
My mom's. I'm like, I'll pay you.
How many millions you want? Like I got them all right now. Like, yeah. I learned more of the significance of the group being in the community myself rather than from her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah. Was it a situation, because we've had we had Dylan Ryder on in like episode 3 or episode 4. Go check that out if you haven't gone, check that out. But his dad marched Skyriders, who are actually making a comeback. Okay. And also we had Keith Ty on as well. Go check that episode out as well, teaching on the brass staff with the Cavaliers right now. At this time of recording, he's actually in Indianapolis teaching with the Cavaliers this weekend. So Keith,
snap!
Hope you're having an incredible weekend,
That's
my guy.
Awesome.
But, those guys who had parents who also did it, or, taught in the activity, whatever it may be, it's something I want to, ask about, was that kind of the reason you got to drum corps, or was it like your own inkling of like, oh, I found this thing by doing it, I kind of want to do it myself? Or was it kind of her being like, hey, you should really go try this thing out, like it might be good for you?
Yeah, a little bit of the latter too.
Yeah.
So in marching band in high school, I was like, this is so much fun. Like I really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was arrogant of me or not, but I was like, I like this, but I want something harder.
Yeah.
And
I feel that.
Like I said,
we're trumpet players, so so much ego.
Jeez.
It's guaranteed.
And by the way, this whole time my trumpet playing was mid at best. It wasn't great.
We all thought we were gods. It's okay.
I didn't. I really didn't, because I knew.
I didn't. I definitely did, and I was not there. I thought I was the shit.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. But I mean, you were better than most people. So it's like,
okay.
I guess the confidence.
You little shit.
Yeah. But no. So yeah, I was in high school. I was like, man, I want this. I want something
challenge
like this, but harder.
Yes.
And before this, my mom, would talk about drum corps and stuff, and I think before that, I really didn't understand exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I want something hard, like marching band, but harder.
Right.
And she was like, go to drum corps. And I'm like, oh, that's what that is.
That's a thing.
Oh.
That's the Star of Indiana thing you did.
Right. That's...
Get it now. I understand. Okay.
Yeah. Especially back in high school and before. I was very insecure, full of this fear of, failing type deal.
Yeah, 100%.
And so my mom was basically the one like, you're going to audition.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she did the same thing for marching band too. My freshman year, she was like, do marching band for a year. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. And that's, whatever.
But go try it.
Right. Like, you're going to do it. And I'm like,
no.
Ended up liking it. Crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy how that works.
Right. Yeah. It's great. So yeah, went up to the audition for Colts.
Mm-hmm.
In Iowa.
How did you land on them, by the way? Because where we came from in St. Charles, there was a lot of different there was plenty of local groups in the area. You had Colts in Iowa, you had Cavaliers, you had Blue Stars.
Yeah.
A lot of people were also going to Scouts. A lot of the people that taught us, Scouts, Cavaliers people, all those groups in that general area, Phantom as well.
Right.
What had you solidified on Colts?
Honestly, it was probably just proximity. It was like the closest.
Mm-hmm.
They were not a newer corps because they've been around since like 1965 or something crazy. But they were like not in the upper echelon of like, you have to be top tier people to,
Right. There's a learning experience here.
Right. Yeah. They had they would have a lot of new members each year.
Right. Yeah.
Just a younger group in general.
Absolutely.
And so I was like, you know what, let's, I'll go to that one.
Yeah.
Drove the 5 hours, did my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Was unaware that they had pieces for you to play for the audition.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is.
Oh man.
I don't know how I got in my first year. I'm gonna be like completely honest.
So did you just show up with like pieces?
I just showed up.
You just showed.
Yeah, 100%. I had no idea what I was doing.
Not even with like I have this to play. You just were like, I'm here.
And yes,
I paid the fee. Damn, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what happened in that case?
Yeah, so I went into the audition and he was like, oh, well, first of all, they didn't call my name because I guess I didn't tell them or something. So usually, you're in visual block and they come out, they're like, all right, this person come in, whatever. I never got called. And so I went up to him later. I was like, I never got called.
Did you guys just cut me already?
Right, yeah. Like, should I just have not come?
Yeah.
Should I just, And I was like, okay, well. And then he was like, I forgot his last name, but his name was also Phil, I believe. Phil's everywhere. Phil's great. Yeah, no, he was super cool.
Yeah.
This is 2016, by the way.
Right.
Winter of 2015.
Yeah. Yes. So you go in, and it's kind of just like, okay, we're ready to hear, like, we're ready to hear the pieces.
Yeah, and
like,
I was like, what do you
mean?
I'm sorry? And they're like, the audition packet?
The packet that you were supposed to bring.
Right. And I was like, ha! Funny.
I didn't even know we had one of those things.
Was unaware that was a thing.
So what do we do? Like, what was from there? Is he just like, get out, or?
No, he was like, all right, play this. You know, gave me like, I don't know, exercises to do or whatever.
Right.
And then he was like, was there anything that you played, you know, while you played on the move or whatever? And this was when we had Maleficia for high school. I played something from that year, which is my sophomore year.
Yes.
And it was like a syncopated, like, you know, something like that.
Right.
And so I kind of marched it across the room.
Like, I
and
could
I did
do
that.
This is challenging enough. I could show off.
Right. And it's, I mean, it's very basic stuff.
Right.
But that was the first thing that came to mind. So I did that, and he was like,
okay.
All right. Cool.
We can work with
we
that.
Will.
We can.
Not necessarily. He was just kind of like, all right, cool.
That's an audition.
Yeah, he was like, all right, well, you good to go? You know, we'll let you know what happens, whatever.
Yeah, right. Did it take like multiple callbacks and then like the one, or were you just so good? Right, they're like, hey.
Immediately, they stopped me mid audition. We're like, yes, this guy.
You're going to Hollywood.
He's going to Hollywood.
You're going to Hollywood. Oh my goodness.
No, but what they actually did for new members is they would have an interview with the
co-director.
Thank you, co-director and the program designer. At the time was Howard Weinstein.
I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh. It's just what a name, Howard Weinstein.
Oh yeah, it's
kind of funny.
It's a complex name. Yeah,
Howard Weinstein.
Yeah, it's
someone made fun of him for Weinstein.
Oh yeah. And I'm so sorry, Howard. You're
no, he's great.
You're an absolute peach, and I appreciate you a lot. You're
fantastic.
He's amazing.
Howie.
Howie.
Okay, sorry.
He didn't march star, but he marched a group. I want to say like the subsonic, or it's something down in Florida, I believe.
Magic of Orlando, maybe?
No, it had to do with like sonic. Something.
Was it a drum corps?
It was.
Oh shit, I don't know. I don't remember.
They were around for just a few years, but
we'll check it out.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll find it.
But I was like, they, you know,
you had like an individual, like one-on-one with them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so they were interviewing like, oh, how'd you, you know, kind of like what you're doing right now. How'd you get into the activity?
Right.
Who do you know? Do you have any family that were in it? And
I
was
like,
know
here?
Right. Yeah. You know, dude. And they were like, yeah. Did you have any family that was in there? And I was like, yeah, actually, my mom marched star. And immediately Howard was like, Star of Indiana?
You have a contract.
Yeah, and that was the first time I was like, oh snap, what is star? Like I was like,
what does this mean for me?
Right. Yeah. And so he was like piqued his interest, and I was like, yeah, star. And he's like
that.
You know, he started. I don't remember exactly what happened after that, but I guarantee he is the reason I made it that year.
Because he was like, this kid is gonna get it.
I guess
he's gonna get it. His mom marched star.
I guess so. Yeah.
I love how it's like the holy grail. Like those, like it's like if you said like, you know, the McRib is back in America. It's like you go to a drum corps and you're like, my mom marched star. They're like, we need to know everything right now.
Cream
it's like
jeans or something.
What? Like what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you go on, you get contracted, move on to your rookie year. Was that your first time going away from home?
Yes.
Like just for that long period of time, just on your own, going away?
100%.
How was that for you? How'd you handle that?
Amazing.
Really?
Yes.
You were full in, like loved
100%. Yeah.
Really?
I was
gung ho.
Yes. I was like, and part of it is because, you know, nothing against my parents or anything, but part of it was because they were very sheltered with me.
You were ready to go out and like see the world.
Oh yeah. Like I was in elementary school, they wouldn't really let me hang out with anyone unless they knew their parents, knew like a lot about them.
For sure.
And you know, it's understandable. The world's
a scary place out there.
Terrifying. Yeah, absolutely. Especially for kids and stuff.
Especially as, you know, time's moving on.
Yeah. Yes. So, but yeah, that was like my first taste of like freedom or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could just do this forever.
Yeah. Honestly. I love it.
Yeah. So, yeah, and there were kids that were like getting homesick and stuff, and I was sitting there like, well, yeah, me too.
Kind of. Like they're like, I'm getting homesick. Like I'm gonna call my. You're like, what? No.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, dude, I'm out.
I'm having a great day.
Yeah, no, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that taste of freedom, but then also just being with friends, going through like the hard work of it, and like blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing everything with them it's a different kind of connection. It really is. There's nothing that I have heard of that is like it, other than maybe the military.
Right.
But then that comes with
it's like
a lot of
anything
trauma.
that's like, for me, I always I don't know how I end up back on it every time, but I end up on a sports rant every single episode.
Yeah.
Like I've just I grew up playing sports, and then I went over to this band world. So for me, I always find a way to bring them together.
Sure.
In terms of like how they can relate, because they do relate so much of like team sports.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
like teams coming together to do all of that. And you hear like these stories of like, especially like football, any team sport. Basically, you hear the same type of stories, and that's why I think it's
right.
That's why I think it's so cool. But for me in my rookie year, and for a lot of people I know, we like started right away. A lot of people right away that I've interviewed on this podcast.
Gotcha.
A lot of those people, it was like they're kind of like their first time. Like the guest I had on the episode before this, his first marching experience was Troopers.
Like not even high school?
No, his high school didn't have a marching band. So like stepping in, first marching experience was Troopers.
That would be intense.
So like for you having basically 3 seasons of high school under your belt at this point,
yeah,
because you did this your junior year, right? So for you having 3 seasons under your belt already, was there a big learning curve for you, or was it kind of just like, well, I know most of these things, so I think it's just little harder skills I have to develop? Or
it was more that the playing wise, I was not very great. So that was the biggest challenge for me.
Yeah.
But visually, I wasn't great. I didn't have perfect technique, just because it was high school and they don't know the extent to which they could teach people. Plus, the kids don't care enough to learn most of the time, to get to that point. So visually, I could pretty much do everything. Obviously, there were challenges, just more intense, difficult
concepts that you have to do,
right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Moves and stuff. Whether it's
like
choreography or
coordination of choreography. Yeah, that's a mouthful right there. But like, that's the thing for me that I was just like, holy shit, this is how like. Because it was so like simple cookie cutter in high school.
Yes.
And then going to where they want to like, if I had to hop in my first year in that 2019 Blue Night show, I know for all the older people out there, there's harder shows than when I marched in 2019. I get that. Yeah. But like, if I had to hop in that first one where so much of it is like being independent and counting on your own and having your own individual like thing. Yeah. But I don't know how I would have done that.
Yeah. Would have been, absolutely.
It's insane to think about now because I'm like, no way I would go. Like, I don't think I could do that again. One of the few corps, actually, the Colts. It's interesting because you actually got to march with them when they had like the old uniform still. Yeah. And then
the color gradient kind of.
Yeah. And then you guys eventually moved on to the newer uniforms. What was it like getting into wear the old unis? Is that like a special thing at Colts? Because like I know a lot of organizations like their old unis, like Oregon, Blue Coats, Boston, all those older uniforms. We were like, man, there's nothing like it. Nothing like the old.
Yeah, no, honestly, it was really cool. The way that they tailor the uniforms in general to the specific member. Yeah, that was so nice. Because in high school, it's just super baggy and like
you
super
get like a
uncomfortable
measurement and they write it down and then they're like, well, this is all we have on that.
Yeah, they're like, okay, yeah, you're kind of in this range of stuff, and then they'll maybe hem the bottom and that's it. Yeah. Whereas like in drum corps, they like measure it to your legs and to your body. Oh, it's so comfortable.
They get in there, dude.
Bro, it's comfortable.
They get in there.
Boy be hugging you. Let me tell you.
Boy be hugging
that uni be hugging me.
Be hugging.
Hugging real tight, real nice. No, but honestly, they were super comfortable. Yeah. A little restricting when you had to like do something like that or something. But the 2016 uniform and then the 2017-2018 uniform, they were similar styles of uniform creation. Yeah. They were still like the more classic marching band.
Oh yeah.
Type. Yeah. So they were very similar. I mean, they were super cool to wear.
That's dope.
The first one got the triangle on the.
Oh yeah. I mean, they were sweet.
There.
They were some sweet uniforms, honestly.
Yeah. Plus, with on the back, it was all black, and you could like do that color change when you turn around.
Fire.
Yeah, that was a really cool.
Very fire. Of it. I found a video from 2016. There's not a lot of videos of Colts 2016.
Right.
But also DCI Media in general in 2016. There's not a lot happening. Yeah. So at this point, flow marching isn't around quite yet. But I found a video of you guys playing Morning on the beach.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that.
Dude, that is so cool to me. How did that opportunity come up for you guys?
It was one of the coolest experiences ever. I actually have a picture that I made into like a canvas.
Yeah.
Really? Of the picture. Yeah. Super cool. And it was me.
Of the group?
No, it was me kind of looking off into the ocean. Very like cinematic, cheesy, but it's a super cool picture.
Yeah.
But no, so we were in Mississippi.
Okay.
Way down south.
Swamp. Swamp tour.
Swamp tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mississippi, and the place we were staying at happened to be very close to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess it was our core director. Yeah. She was like, you know what? Let's do something a little special. Let's go down to the beach at like 5 a.m. First off, and over drum corps, waking up that early.
That's easy. We do that every day.
What do you mean? 5 a.m.? Absolutely not.
Oh my God.
So at first, everyone's like pissed that we're getting up so early. But then we get there and the sun is...
Did you know that like this is what you were getting up for basically?
Yes, I think so. We didn't know exactly, what it was going to be like, but we knew we were going to do something, on the beach. Mm-hmm. I wanted to swim, but they said no.
Fuck.
Yeah, a little pissed. The sun wasn't up yet.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was like coming up as the video was.
Yeah.
It was pretty.
Yeah. And so we started playing, getting emotional, but not, as emotional as, the end of the summer. The summer, which is.
Oh yeah.
But our drum major at the time, Noah, he was conducting us, doing our thing, and then we ended, and then he was like, all right, Colts, turn around. And we turned around and we saw the sun was up, and we're like, yo, dude!
Everything's worth it.
Oh, bro, it was so cool. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the vibes that day.
That's the type of shit that'll get you through, like, the rest of the season.
Dude. Honestly, it's, I was going to say little things, but that's, it was a little thing, but it was, I still remember that more vividly than anything
when you get
else.
to Swamp, you like hate life because
it's
so
Swamp Tour is
humid,
so bad.
It's gross outside.
Oh.
Like the moment you walk outside, it's just sticky.
Yeah.
You feel sweat peeling off
You're
of you.
You're walking through the,
water.
Yeah.
You're walking through water, basically.
Pretty much.
In
And
the South the whole
it sucks.
It's awful.
Breathing in water, it's just...
The whole time. But, I mean, at that point, getting to have something like that, especially later in the season, where it's just like, you've gone through so much up to this point.
Sure.
Here's a little moment back for you that you can always remember. That's just like, I'll never forget that we got to do that. It's like in 2018 we got the opportunity to have a subsectional on the beach, and like get to hang out.
Yeah.
And like literally got to take shoes off, like shirts off, the whole bit, dude.
Toes in the sand.
Got naked.
Let's go.
No, but I mean, we did like a 2-hour subsectional in the afternoon.
That's awesome.
4th of July. It was early season, but we were in Oregon, so we were up in Seaside. So we rehearsed in the morning, and then the afternoon we got to do subsectionals on the beach, like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's cool.
I'll never forget that. That was the coolest rehearsal I've ever been in.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
It's a sunny ass day outside. Beautiful blue skies, the whole bit, and like this big mountains everywhere, just water, and like, let's do a subsectional. And you would think that we couldn't, no, it was the most peaceful thing ever. It was
that's amazing.
Yeah. So that's why I saw that and I was like, dude, that looks.
And that was at OC?
Yes, that was at Oregon, my last year there. Last question, rounding out your rookie year.
Sure.
So you talked about, this was your first time kind of getting to go out. You had been, a little bit sheltered growing up and all that. So you get out, you get to have all this freedom, tour the country, perform for thousands every other night, whatever it be. What's something you learned about yourself in your rookie year?
Oh, Lord. That year I learned that I could push myself harder than my mind was allowing me to.
Mm-hmm.
And, being a fearful child.
Right.
Didn't really push myself out of my comfort zone very often.
Absolutely.
And so, being able to do that really was like, oh, okay, this is how you really like
apply yourself.
Yeah, and really work and like
what it's like to work for something like
right.
a whole process.
Yeah.
Of like, a grind.
Do the things you hate to get the things you love to feel,
Yeah. Learning to love the process, basically. As corny as that sounds, because all the teachers and all the techs will like nail that into your head that you have to love it. But I mean,
it really is. It really is a thing, and it's the best way to go about it.
And the whole point is when you do something like that and you start to fall in love with the process of doing something like that, you start to hopefully apply it to the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like I had a tech my rookie year talking to us right before we went on for our semifinals performance, talking about like do everything in your life with like excellence, you know, like make your bed with excellence, brush your teeth with excellence, like take a piss with excellence. He actually said to us going into Lucas, take a piss with excellence. And I was like, I live by that.
You know what? Absolutely. Now every time I go, perfection.
No, like it is a perfect stream for me every time. And if I don't, I'm walking out.
Give up.
I'm giving up. It's going everywhere. I'm giving up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's so gross.
Something like I'm terrible, dude. So moving on into your second year, what made you come back in 2017?
Honestly, just part of it was like having the hanging out with friends the whole summer, and the freedom of, because it's not actual freedom because you're still with the group. You don't just get to do whatever. Right. But yeah, no, just being on my own, doing stuff like that was really the biggest. The biggest thing at the time.
Absolutely. And just Colts, great summer.
Yeah.
Just awesome.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, it's funny, like you meet so many people throughout the activity as you keep doing it, and you meet rookies who like you'll do it, especially like I did 3 years at Oregon. So I saw plenty of rookies come through, be like, oh man, at the end of the season, you're like, oh man, we got to run it back. I'm definitely coming back here next year. And then
they don't.
And then in November you see them auditioning for Coats and you're like, fucker.
Piece of shit.
We'll see you back in April, okay? When I see that email come back. Yeah. I'm kidding.
So moral of the story, if you say you're going to do something, do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it was, but no, I really enjoyed it. And the friends I made, part of it was the friends in the trumpet section. A lot of the people didn't come back, and so that was tough when I came back. Right. Not seeing those people, so I had to, I guess, make a new group of friends, sort of thing. I mean, I was still friends with everyone that marched in 16. Right. I just didn't really talk to everyone.
Right. Exactly. I get that. That's kind of. I had the same thing my rookie year too.
Yeah, it was a little. It can be cliquish at times,
for sure. So, and then it's like it's so much easier like when you're in your second year though, and like you come back and you know some people.
Yeah, and you know the staff, and it's not like
there's extra
who are these people.
Yeah, there's like confidence in that. Like, I know some people.
Yeah, I'm like kind of the shit.
I like know everybody here.
Yeah. I'm the coolest.
But actually, in 2017, you get a brass staff change? ?
Yes. Entire brass staff. I want to say entire staff change. Visual staff too.
You got a new caption head though.
Yeah.
Right? Mr. Chad Miller.
Chad Miller, the fucking GOAT.
The GOAT. Yes. I wanted to ask a little bit about this because I haven't really talked about this with anybody. In my second year, for example, I'll explain right now off the bat. I never had the same staff twice in my career.
Really?
Never had the same staff twice.
Wow, that's rough.
I had a different staff every single year I marched. I never had the same one twice. So for you,
that's wild.
What was it like for you coming back in your second year? Because I remember for me going into my second year, getting a new staff was like, I'm basically marching a new group because the same thing kind of happened where a lot of the trumpet vets didn't come back. Only like 3 or 4 of us came back. Yeah. And then we had a brand new brass staff. And we had a new-ish Viz staff. Some more people just got brought on, but like we had a new brass staff completely, and we had so many new members. It just felt like a new drum corps all over again.
Yeah, it kind of did. It really did because they, obviously different staff. They do things differently. Their process was different. Mm-hmm. I liked this staff better. Yeah. That year, and because they ended up staying. I want to say they might still be there.
I don't know if they are or not.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm sorry, Colts. I have not kept up. I have not paid attention to drum corps at all. Yeah. I just haven't.
They're going to be asking for dues soon.
I've taken enough of my money already. But yeah, no, it was that change was. I guess in a way it wasn't that crazy because I went from instead of having I guess it would be different if I marched my first 2 years with the same staff, and then switched or whatever. So it was almost like not natural, but it was. It wasn't a strange feeling. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, new staff, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it was vibe change. They were super chill.
Yeah. Overall, I remember when I was doing prep for this interview, I saw a video. It was it's almost like a little bit of shade in a way.
Sure.
The way they say it. Because it's like, why you gotta say it like that? But DCI Brass, the YouTube page, they had a video of you guys warming up in the lot from 2017, and it says, much improved Colts horn line in the lot for 2017. And I was like, I mean, yes, you can tell, like you can listen to it and be like, yes, much improved. Like,
especially from
world
16.
better.
Yeah.
World better. Like, it's crazy. What for you, like, what got better? What was so, like, was it vibes? Was it the staff? Was it the members?
Honestly, it was probably a combination of all of them.
Yeah.
And remember how I said wasn't the greatest at playing?
Yeah.
That year, actually, they had me play.
Good?
They had me play baritone. Yeah. So, because they had some rock star trumpets that year. Like, one of my really good friends, Justin Nowak. Shout out,
Justin, dude.
Bro, I don't know if you ever heard this dude play.
No.
Absurd.
Didn't even know him, but you know what? Now we do.
Yeah.
Now we do.
He was.
He was a dog.
Bro.
A dog.
Boy had that dog in him. I'm telling you. Yeah, he was crazy. Dog. Plus, there was a lot of other people. Our 2019 drum major was part of that year. Also, he was one of the lead trumpet players.
Ooh,
also
really?
ridiculous. Yeah, dude, crazy. He was also insane.
So sick.
Yeah.
Lead trumpet to drum major is like ultimate power moves.
Right.
There's
really
so many
is.
power moves right there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I was in the audition, and then they were like, "Oh, we actually need baritone." They didn't directly say that I'm not great, but I kind of got the hint. You know, I understood.
You'll take one for the team.
Yeah, I was like, I'll play baritone.
Sure.
So I played second baritone.
So you just got buff.
Yeah, especially it's my left side of my back is still bigger than my right from it.
Really?
Yeah, just like size, it's like you can
That's
feel the difference.
weird.
It's so strange.
That's so weird.
I've tried to even it out working out.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you work out, you're just like big, like
I've been trying to bulk up. I still can't get my back even. I don't know. Drum corps messing me up.
My back.
Yeah, but no, that was super cool.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed it a lot. I really did.
Yeah.
It helped me kind of gain some confidence in my just overall playing, which is nice because you have to push a lot of air for.
Oh yeah.
Those who do baritone and even especially tuba.
Oh God bless.
Props
dude.
to y'all. That's just so hard.
Yes. Oh my God. I mean, to hold such a heavy instrument and then also like having to put so much more air.
Yeah, and to mainly hold it with one arm too. Yeah. For baritone.
For the most part, yeah, because you're doing everything.
Yeah.
You're like, this is just to do this.
Right.
I mean, this is to hold everything. That
Right.
that makes sense now. But like, dude, and then it makes, when you go back to trumpet, then you're like, why are you guys breaking? Like,
yeah. I was
why are you guys like shaking?
Yeah, they're shaking. It's like, oh, I've been there. Don't fucking break.
Stop.
I've been there. Shake, but don't break.
Can we get that on a shirt?
We're
gonna do that for merch when we get.
That was
merch,
something Chad would say. People would be shaking and they'd start to go down. He'd be like, "Shake, don't break.
Shake, don't break.
Don't break. If you have to shake until you pass out."
When we get meet the bus merch that's going on a shirt.
Shout out Chad Miller.
Shout out.
If you want to coin it, get some revenue. Do it now.
You can definitely hop on the train before we get some merch. Shake, don't break. We're doing that for sure.
No, honestly, it's
something I noticed watching a lot of your shows and watching them like all the way through fully.
Sure.
And there's like a little visual that you guys do that I don't know if it's like, because like with BK, for example, there's like the prep. Different corps have like different little signatures. Like the troopers have the sunburst, BK with the prep. I bet you could go down the line and find others. BD with like, Park and Bark. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Shade!
Boom! No, I'm kidding. They literally, if you watch the closer, Jazz running rotating circles while playing at double forte, go ahead and try to do that. Try to attempt to do that. Yeah. Okay?
People are like, oh, they just...
Also, then the year before that, take an entire brass line in a pyramid and then have them do a whole like tower rotation while there's an accelerando happening. No big deal. And they can't see a drum major the whole time. So, I'm talking shit, but I do it for fun. So there's this Vig that you guys do where you guys are like on the move. You're at Carry, which is Carry, you're at this.
Double cover.
Cover.
Is the best cover.
It is the best cover. I only got to do it.
Clean as fuck.
I actually never got to do it.
You never got to do it?
No. They did it in BK in 18, and then in 19, the Vig staff was like, no, we're doing it like this. Yeah. So that's exactly how my Vig caption had sounded, by the way.
Got you.
In my mind, that's how he always actually sounds. It's just like, blue nights,
It's canon. It's canon at this point.
You guys always did this thing where it was just like the little pop to the ground where the bell faces outwards.
The belly button, yeah.
Like this always happened, and then it would be like an up. Was that like an... I know my computer screen's in front of me, so you guys might not be able to...
He's going like this. He's going...
And then it's like a brought up.
Yeah.
Was that kind of like a... Was that like a little signature for you guys?
Yes. That was Colts horns up is what that's called.
Yes!
Yeah. I like that you caught that. That's cool. That's dope. Yeah.
No big deal.
We didn't really implement that. I think we had it in 16, and then I think we brought it back in 19. I don't think we did it in 17, 18.
Okay. It's so dope. Like I saw it, I was like,
yeah,
I love that.
It's super cool.
Because I know, I think BK did it before too. That's the thing. Like they did this on a prep.
Ooh.
Like I think
BK, watch out, Colts might come for you.
Copyright.
Oh,
copyright law.
Trademark.
Watch out.
Trademark that.
Oh my god. Another thing I saw real quick. There was a 2017 because they don't have the up top finals video for 2017 yet on YouTube. They just had rehearsal videos. So I watched one of the rehearsal videos.
Probably because there's only a semifinals one.
Well, they have it for 18 and 19. That's the thing. They have but it's someone from the Colts box. I'm pretty sure. How they have sections for the cores at finals. What a lot of cores like to do is they like to sell seats in Indy. So I think it was just one of the things where the Colts section they might have been videoing from up there. It was really really great quality.
Yeah, I know a lot of times the staff usually goes up in the stands, kind of hangs out together just to get a better listen.
But I was watching a little video there, and I saw you guys did the whole ensemble shorts too, or the rehearsal shorts where each section gets the.
And that was Denton, Texas.
Can we talk about how dumb that is? I get why I get, in my opinion here, I get why staff does it. I get why it happens.
Are you saying in general?
It's a Crown thing for sure. It comes from Crown.
Oh yeah.
It's a Carolina Crown thing. They always did it where every section has their own shorts that they got to wear to ensemble, and then
okay, yeah.
It's their own color so that when you're in the box and you're cleaning, by the color of the shorts, who it is. And I'm just like, why? Because at OC we did that, for example, in 2017, and it just added another layer onto it's an efficiency thing for me. Mm-hmm. It's because in 19 with Blue Knights, I mean, we still clean drill. We all just wore our normal clothes though.
Right.
We got way cleaner than OC ever could. And we just wore our clothes.
But I mean, that's also the caliber of teachers and members.
You're so real. I should have never said anything.
It's not the shorts people.
They will comment.
You're just a shorts hater.
I am a shorts hater because honestly, I just hated it. I would go through a day, and especially spring training, when you just get caught up in the days and every day starts to peel into the other.
Yeah.
And then it's ensemble, and you oopsie daisy forgot that you need to switch your rehearsal shorts to ensemble shorts. Yeah. And you get there and you're like, if I don't do this, they're gonna make me run a mile, get cut or whatever. And it's just
no shorts, go home, get out.
At 17, that was real. But I just never. When I got to BK and we just didn't do that. I'm like, why no more chorus? Why can't we all just do this? But I even when I was writing the question down, I said I know what the other side is. I just want to be a little shithead.
It's fair.
Respectfully.
Pro tip though: only wear the rehearsal or the section shorts just throughout the whole day. Just wear them all day.
So basically, just throw the.
Don't have rehearsal shorts. Your rehearsal shorts are your section shorts. So you never have to switch them.
So you never have to switch. See, that's smart. That's what we didn't do.
It is. They get disgusting. Your shorts get.
That's another thing too of why I didn't like it.
Efficiency.
That's another thing.
We're not there to be clean.
That's why I didn't like it either. Is because it's just it gets so smelly, and you only have 2-3 pairs, but you have to wear them. It's why did I bring all my other clothes?
I might actually have a comparison of one that I never wore and then another.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if you just have stinky shorts.
No, I've washed them. Yep. And I've washed them quite a few times.
Yep.
I don't keep funky shorts around.
Real quick, going off the 2017 show.
Let's go for it.
Ballad was beautiful. Ballad was gorgeous. The trombone ballad, little trombone solo in there. There just needs to be more trombone solos because, I mean, there's been so many shows lately that have done it. Like, you know, BD22 did it. BD23 did it. Probably every BD showed up. No, I'm kidding. But, you know, Coates had a really good trombone soloist in 17. He's, like, super big now. Skate2 Network on TikTok. He's, like, touring now. The guy who was the guy who was the trombone soloist for Blue Coats in 17. Was it 17? Am I right?
That's the bowler hats.
Jagged Line?
Yes.
Jagged Line? Okay, cool. I'm right then. Okay, so like he's like touring now.
That's insane. He's
playing ska music. It's pretty incredible.
That's so cool.
He's so talented.
That's so cool.
It's insane. Go check him out. Skate2 Network. You probably already know who he is because he's massive on TikTok. He's got like tens of thousands of followers. Probably more than that. I'm just, you know.
That's crazy.
Just saying. It's insane. But yeah.
Crown 2016?
Oh, Crown 16. I could forget that.
Crown 2016 is one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah, I was going to say. I remember.
Relentless?
Yeah.
Ooh. Bro.
But yeah. I just want to make a little note there. Ballad was beautiful in 2017. Yeah. Talked about all the new caption and stuff.
That was actually the drum major.
Really?
Trombone solo, yeah.
Really? Like the new...
No, that was the 2016-2017 drum major. Noah
Khan.
Noah, I was going to say Schnapps, but that's the dude that was in Stranger Things.
Oh.
Noah.
Yeah,
but he got off the podium, went over to the brain is what we called it, and played his solo and is phenomenal. I think he was in Blast. I think he ended up going to Blast.
No way.
100%.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah.
That's like a for the people who don't know, I'm pretty sure that's like a winds group in Japan.
Yeah, I want to say it's
like an elite winds group.
I want to say they were originally like Star of Indiana people.
Yeah, basically. Because I had a tech, Sarah Myers, shout out Sarah Myers. She is going to be on the show very soon, in the next year. But she was in Blast as well.
That's so cool.
And that also sounds like one of those like things that if you say it, it's like, like if you say Star, you say Blast, it's like
it's also
yeah. That is so dope.
No, absolutely.
Blast is insane. If you guys should definitely go look up just Blast Winds Group. Just go look into that because they are crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane. We talked a little bit. We mentioned that you did Freedom Percussion. You did a little bit of WGI work as a cymbal player. I also did WGI as well. My high school senior year, I did cymbals as well.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Ishman and Harry both convinced me. Ishman, literally, shout out Mark Ishman.
Absolutely,
shout out Harry
goats.
Pullum. The goats. The guys that kept me together my senior year of high school. But it was funny. Not my best fall season for my senior year. It was over. I was kind of like, all right, whatever, I'm out. Ishman called my mom. Like one day I was like home from school. I just went home. Drumline auditions were that day, and I just went home like normal.
Yeah.
And Ishman called my mom. I'm sitting on the couch, and Ishman calls my mom and is like, your son needs to do drumline. He needs to do it. Like he's got to do this one. And I was just like, I'm never gonna do drumline. Like I said it all my years of high school.
I remember that.
I'm never gonna do it, guys.
Yeah, my junior year, I was like, hey, you want to join drumline?
You do cymbals.
And he was like, nah, dude, drumline's not for me. I'm like,
not a drumline guy, man. I'm not a drumline guy. And then he was like, Ishmael was like, I promise it's gonna help you. You're not gonna regret this. And then sure enough, like if I didn't do WGI, I don't know if I would have made BK.
Really?
Because of how much it helped me with my like coordination and movement.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think if I didn't do WGI and learn how to march a different way and learn how to like perform in a different way, I don't think I would have made BK. Because of like how much it trained like my coordination, my body, learning a different type of movement. Yeah. And then also something I wanted to key in on is how the performance venues of WGI makes it so much more that you have to go over the top every time you perform. I want to talk to you a little bit about that.
Theatrical,
like, how did that help you for marching? Because I think both of them just go like obviously with marching, it's not like you can hide, but there's a bigger venue, so there's more space. So it's like
right. I mean, plus there's more people on the field, so you kind of can hide almost.
So it's like yes, you're supposed to be projecting to the box, but most people don't get what that truly means, and then you get to WGI where it's a smaller closed in space where a lot of eyes are on you, closer to you, so you have to go all out to portray what you're trying to do. How did that help for you? It
really kind of, especially Freedom, it almost allowed me to perform more the way I wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because over summer, I mean, you have the Shakos and
this guy.
But like the Shakos, I mean, they always say like, with the bill of the shako, you should have 2 fingers from your nose to the shako.
Yeah.
And that's the only, like, it's always low like that. So you never have to, like, project
face,
up.
Give some face.
Yeah. And so not having a shako or anything really was like, oh, okay. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I have to, like, I'm exposed. And which is obviously terrifying at first. But once you kind of get over that, it's like, now you can really open up and really have a lot of fun with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because at first, like I said, like I wasn't a drumline guy. And then I did it, and it completely like changed my performance quality when I went to auditions, and it was like that time to do like the whole across the floors and to really like focus on like, you know, projecting your upper body in the gym and all that. I was like, this is no problem. Like I've been doing this. So this is just like, I'm just doing this. Like it helps so much. Getting us into 2018, what made, you know, what makes you come back in 2018? Is there any thoughts of going to another group at all?
I think well, okay, so 2017 BD, Metamorphosis?
Yeah, Metamorph.
Thank you.
Metamorph, yes.
I saw that show, and I saw it in Lucas Oil on finals. Yeah. I was like beyond the end zone. Yeah. So, you know, awful seating, but I was like, this performance is insane. Yep. Crazy. I want to say I like had like a tear fall, and I was like, that's beautiful.
That was yes. I had the same.
That show was different,
beginning to end. That show,
dude.
Still, it's hard to come across the show beginning to end that is just like kind of in person captured me the way that show did.
Yes,
so much where truly. I was just like, this feels like so magical. Yeah, all of it just like. That was the one where I finally gave up on like the BD hate, because I remember even my rookie year, I was still like, man, Crown's so much better. I can't wait to go to Crown. And then in 17, like we had to perform after BD at our home show, which was our first show.
In 2017?
Our first show in Oregon.
I am so sorry.
Our first show was after BD 17.
I'm so sorry.
How do you go on after Metamorph? You do, but like you listen to that show and you watch them perform and you're like,
it's a different show. It was.
Oh. That is insane.
That's what this is supposed to be like.
That's why they win. That's why they win Let's see. There's so many different directions I could go with this, but I think one that I'm going to go with first is, were you ever a section leader?
No.
No?
I was not. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought about it, but a big part of it was I didn't want to be part of like the leadership thing. I was like, not that, you know, it was a bad thing. I was just, honestly, I was there to have fun.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
I feel that. I know some people, like, they're like, you know, especially when they're at a corps for a long time, there's like, I want to be the horn sergeant here. I want to be the section leader. Like, for me, it's too, like, when I was at Oregon and I got to my third year, I was like, I want to be the horn sergeant this year. Like, no doubt, like, that is what I wanted to do.
And were you?
No. No beef over it either. I like to be a little dramatic sometimes. No beef over it either. I really wish I was, because towards the end of my career, that's definitely what I wanted to do. Like, like if I got to do the whole 7-year thing, I wanted to be the 7-year like horn sergeant who had all of this like Yoda knowledge.
Be the Yoda of the group.
Yo, master way. Like, I don't know, something like that. But okay, so since you weren't, I was gonna ask, you know, all about like your leadership styles and whatnot, like what you like to, you know, what you like in that sense, because like for me, so much I was gonna talk about is just it doesn't matter.
Well, I was saying in 19, I was in the leadership group, but I wasn't a section leader. Yeah, like a lot of the old, like the vets and stuff, we would kind of meet with whether it's the caption head or the co-director, just kind of do some, I guess, maintenance type deal for the group. Yeah, vibe checks and stuff.
Absolutely. I think for me, the biggest thing always too was in the activity was like leading by example so much, and not like. Not that I mean, there's a time to like lead with your voice, and there's a time where you're going to need to do that. Yeah. But like for me, so much in drum corps, I just saw myself like, I mean, I got to be a section leader 3 times in my career. It was kind of crazy right out the gate. My second year, I got to be. I think that's just because there wasn't enough people coming back. But in 2018, this is the closest you guys got to making finals. This is the closest you got. Was that on your guys' mind in that year, getting your staff back, getting the people back, and this being the closest you've gotten to competing for finals? Was that in the mind, or was it still, we're going to do our best?
The staff is always like, don't worry about placement, you know, do the best you can. Like, they're, you know, try to do the best you can. Right. Obviously, we wanted to get, not first.
You wanted to make fun.
Hey, you know, we'd love to be first, you know.
But
we would love to get in the finals because it's. I know recently Colts have gotten in there.
Shout out the home team.
Yeah, dude, that's sick. But yeah, it's kind of having a long streak of not getting in there.
Yeah.
And being in that like 14, 13 kind of area for like
you can compete
years in a row.
Yes.
It's at least a little makes you go a little crazy. Like,
yeah, because you're like, we're there.
Right.
And you look
right there.
And in the heat of the competition, you look at the people in front of you and you're like,
yeah. Oh, 100%. We're like, bro.
It's us.
Like,
come on.
There were so many times we were like, I don't remember who was in 12th, 11th or whatever, but we're like, our show is so much better than that. Like, I mean, it's not better than like, some of the top people, but it's better than these like we
should be making finals with this show.
We're louder, we're cleaner, like bruh.
Yeah, like what are we doing?
Right.
So yeah,
it was on the mind. They wanted to harp on more, do the best you can, best we can get out of this show.
Yeah. Was there big vet retention in 2018? It just seems like it with the way
yes.
It just seems like with the entire core in general with like the vet retention question, it just seems like overall the core got to do so much more and like even design wise the show and the core just take a big step up in terms of what you guys got to do in 2018. It's such a more elaborate show than the 2 years prior. So I was just like, we did have a lot more. It was a lot higher vet retention. Yeah.
A big thing about why 17 didn't have a high one is because 16 was not the greatest.
It happens.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Going in 2018, I've been told that we were louder in 2019, but we were more in tune. In 2018.
Clean. Yeah, we were and all that.
Right. So that was a really cool year. And we weren't as loud as 2019, but because we were more in tune, it sounded
it projects
crazy
further.
Loud. Yeah. A big part of that is the GOAT, Chad Miller.
Honestly, shout out Chad Miller.
Bro, honestly.
I think we got to get to him right now before we wrap this out.
Let's do it.
You got to talk to me about Chad Miller a little bit, man, because I watched the video. Now, we're skipping a little ahead here in 2019.
Sure.
We'll just go ahead and skip it. So we're getting right into 2019. I watched this video. Chad Miller's working with the horn line. It's another day, it looks like, on tour.
Oh, is it the one that he's mic'd while he's like teaching?
Yeah, like he's mic'd up and being like, all right. He
has some great one-liners in that.
Today's going to be the day where, we're helping these kids, play better on the
conditioning day. It's gonna be rough.
It's just hard cuts over and over again. Put him down, touch that goalpost.
He's like,
put him down, touch that end zone.
See that tree over there?
Go touch that one.
Go touch it.
Go touch that one. Put him down, touch that. Like it's hard cuts of just that over and over again, and it's just like, there is some great one-liners in there. So if you look up some like Chad Miller works with the Colts horn line, it is golden.
It's great.
It really is good. It's ahead of its time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like for mic'd up material, ahead of its time.
100%. He is underrated for sure when it comes to.
He seems like
in general he's underrated.
Like it was hilarious to watch that video, and I'm like, this guy, like watching the other videos, especially from 2019, of watching him talking about the program and all that. I'm like, this guy seems great, seems hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But on that day when you're getting the conditioning, you're like, I don't want to hear from this guy right now.
100%.
Because he just knows what to say to be like. Shut up! I don't want to do this right now.
Yeah, no, and I want to say I don't think he was in a bad mood that day. This, 2019. Real quick caveat.
Yeah.
2019. There's a trumpet ensemble.
Yes.
And I want to say during that when that was being filmed.
Yeah.
Trumpet ensemble was doing something else, and I was in that, and so I didn't get the wrath of that. Let's go! So yeah, but we'd be playing them. We'd look over, be like, yeah, they're doing laps, cool. Yeah, we're just chilling. Yeah, it was, but that was, there's a lot of gold touching.
Yeah,
and he's a great person. He's amazing. So he marched Phantom.
Yeah,
I don't remember what year, but it was the year that their tubas were like regarded as one of the best tuba lines ever in DCI. He was in that tuba line, and this guy is 5'6" maybe.
Oh yeah,
like, he's a small dude.
Yeah,
but
he's got some power,
bro. He's an animal.
The name speaks for itself.
He's an animal.
The name speaks for itself.
Yeah,
Chad.
Yeah, but he's not like
the typical
like douche Chad.
He's not douche Chad.
Yeah,
he's like band Chad. Like we talked about in the last video. Like we had, I'll look back at the video and remember his name, but the guy who does choreography for Broken Arrow, I taught with him. And
snap.
Yeah, major. Jordan LaLama, biggest band chat of all time. Great guy. It's just like when
shout out Visual Caption Head 2016.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like showing up to rehearsals in October, and like I got to teach with him. He's showing up to rehearsals in October with a tank top on and like shorts and Nikes, and he's like, "All right, she's just choreography. You guys just watch me teach the rest." And it's like, dude, he's a champ. He's a champ. But yeah, no, I like to say like band chat.
Yeah.
Chad Miller might be a little band chat. Yeah, it's okay. So am I.
Bro, he's an absolute G.
Yeah,
he was
a G.
Yeah, so he was crazy, and he was very strict. Isn't the right word?
Yeah.
He cared a lot for the members and stuff.
Yeah.
But he also pushed us farther than we would push ourselves.
Right.
Because there's days when the vibes are not right, and it's just a horrible day.
Right.
Whether things going on. One of the things that he would always say, and what's like really stuck with me, who you are in your worst day is who you really are.
Yes.
And I was like,
damn.
Yeah, I was like,
kind of right though. Like
no,
how
absolutely.
You face adversity.
Yeah, and I was sitting there. I was like, it was a shitty day, and I was like,
is this who
son
I
of a
am?
bitch, Chad? What?
Not who I am.
And I was like, all right, let's go.
Weird.
Gosh, why'd you have to say that?
Yep. Yeah. Just
like
there
were days when he wouldn't say it, and I'd be like, I hope he doesn't say it. And he says it. I'm like,
he did.
How dare you motivate me?
He said the thing.
How dare you motivate me?
Goes down my spine.
Yeah, makes me. I want to do great now. Gosh, how dare you want me? How dare you make me want to be good? Gosh. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so I want to ask one question here because
go for it.
UDB Ultimate Drill Book. Shout out to them, by the way. They're following the Instagram now.
Oh, actually?
They are. Yeah. So shout out UDB.
Let's go.
If you're watching this right now, or any representative from UDB is watching,
yeah,
we're going to talk about you a little bit.
Was it 2018 when they first came out with their app? Or was it 2019?
Yes, 2018, because I remember in 2018,
clutch.
dude.
Bro,
I actually wanted to talk about the app.
Bro, that shit is so clutch.
It's so clutch.
Oh my Lord.
It is like, it was so cool learning drill in 2018 with that. And it was also like, not just because it was, just the first year, but like using the app in 2018, we learned drill the fastest I had ever learned in core. Like we got the entire production down in 5 days.
That's insane.
Of just drill. Granted, it's drill. It's just putting dots on the field.
Right.
But putting the whole production of dots on the field in 5 days with that app was huge.
Yes, dude.
That app helped a ton with
oh my Lord.
I mean, getting to literally watch your pathway when you don't know. Yeah. Because normally we've just had you get a drill sheet, you get your coordinates, you eventually you fill out your own dot book and all that. So you kind of have to just do it in context to figure out what my pathway
and to figure out what's going on while you're doing each set and where they're going and stuff. Yeah.
And with UDB, you literally before the set happened, you got to press play, watch how you were going to do it, and then do it.
Yeah, and see the whole form happen. It's like, okay, so I got to make sure that I have enough room for this person to get through.
I have to watch out for this person.
If there's a path, like a pass through or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially I had so many jazz running sets, so I was like, wow, I should watch how I can do this. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, 1 to 5? Oh, okay,
easy.
I'll try.
But, it was actually kind of funny. I just shouted them out right now, and they're following me. But I got to tell you right now, I got to expose myself a little bit.
Y'all want to sponsor my boy?
Listen, UDB would be an incredible sponsor. It would be an incredible sponsor. They followed the page.
I mean,
shout out UDB.
Just saying, dude.
Ultimate Drill Book. What I wanted to, I'm going to expose myself a little bit here, but I'm going to expose everybody else too at home who's listening. And
bringing everyone down with me.
I'm bringing everyone down with me.
Sure.
The UDB app, I swear to God, learning drill, it was great and all that. But when we were learning drill, don't tell me that you didn't go look at your phone, look at your text.
Oh yeah.
I was definitely snapping all my streaks learning drill in the morning.
100%.
I was hitting up everybody. Yeah. And they're like, aren't you gone? I'm like, we got this new app thing now. So I'm
we'll snap each other on the field. And do some take a picture of someone else real quick and be like, wow, this guy looks stupid. And then and then you'll send it to him and then kind of be put away, be a standby, and then you'll look over and they'll be like,
pull it.
No, they're like Yeah. And then because they made the most movement whenever it should be a standby,
they got called out.
That's the best thing ever.
See, I'm exposing myself at staff. You have to know that's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
If they don't know,
how do you not know? It's happening. It's definitely happening. We're all checking our streaks mid-Vish block. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
It's funny. I was there's a couple people that joined your staff design-wise in 2019. One of them being Don Click, legendary WGI guy, co-founder of Music City Mystique.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. And he came in to be your program coordinator that year.
Yeah.
You also had Robert W. Smith come in as your brass arranger as well. Rest in peace to Robert W. Smith. Recently passed away. Touched so many people in the community. Actually? Yes, he did. Recently passed away. He's worked with so many people in the activity.
I had no idea.
Yes. Very recently. I'm talking like probably like a month or two ago. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes. Oh, yeah, dude. So, yeah, but I mean, how was that getting to work with two legends, honestly? One being a design legend and one being an absolute composing legend.
Yeah.
You know?
It was wild. Like they came in with not arrogance or anything, but their bravado, their just like vibe was
their
just
knowledge.
It was so expansive and so just infectious too. Especially Don. He really got people hyped up.
He knows how to get you hyped up.
Oh man.
I watched that video of like, it's after the Atlanta regional, I think, and he's like describing the show basically. When Hell Freezes Over was the show in 2019. And he talks about the design of that show.
Yeah.
And he got me fully like into that concept. Like I had no idea. And he like talks about, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I
they talk about Dante's Inferno and everything. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then he had a great
Super
quote.
cool.
It was funny at the end. It's funny, like it's towards the end of him explaining it, and he's like, we actually figure out by reading that the lowest level of hell is actually ice.
Yeah. Like the devil's throne is made of ice or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
How?
Right. Crazy. Doesn't make any sense.
No.
But the concept, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Going back to Robert W. Smith, obviously the way he arranged everything was insane.
So detailed.
But also when he was like teaching it, he would get so into it, like when he was singing the parts.
Did he come to rehearsals?
Yeah. Yeah, there were a few times he would come. It wasn't very often because he was a busy bee. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he would come to rehearsal and he would just like he'd make sure that all the music staff is kind of on the same page and everything, which is huge. First of all, in 2016 especially, there were differences in like how they were teaching things or whatever.
Absolutely.
Which happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially when he would like sing us how the part should go. He would like really get into it, like and like do things like that. And it's like we would get hyped up from that too and be like, ooh, okay,
I want to play it like that.
Yeah. And so we'd all do that, and then we get it, and then he'd be like, yes,
that's it.
We're like,
he's so detailed in his composing. I mean, you really listen to that show compared to your other guys' shows, and it's just like, it really does. Like, I think that's the one in that opening hit where you have like that forte piano, and then like on the final sustain where it's like almost like this stagnated. Like the block starts from right to left, basically, where like part of the block is like stopped, and then the block
and they just kind of add into it,
and the sustain is still happening, and then it like forte pianos. And then it comes back up, and then there's like another chord, like almost like a chromatic thing, and then it like goes into the sustain. Like, dude,
that
some
was
of those
a lot
chords were like
do.
nasty, but like in the best way.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
They're tasty.
No, that was actually, I don't know if this was something you're gonna ask, but that was actually probably my hardest set.
And like at the end of that
moving
opener?
set, really.
I had that in there. I like to ask it towards the end.
It was like, I'll get to that later. But yeah, it was super cool. Yeah. And he actually wrote the trumpet ensemble as well.
Oh.
And so
hell yeah.
And so that was kind of how it goes, like
yeah.
And then you have my boy Spencer, shout out Spencer.
Yeah.
Just like, crazy high.
Insane.
And then like, we resolve it to this A chord. It was originally supposed to be up the octave. All of us playing up the octave.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So like high A's, starting on high A's.
Yeah.
High B and then C, and then do the F on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Bro. Oh boy. Especially after the ballad that we had.
Yeah.
With because like ballads doing long notes. you're not more out of breath than that.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Whew. And then
there was a lot going on in that show too. Like, it just never felt like it stopped.
Yeah.
In that show, like you had a mini ballad a little bit, but it kind of just
yeah.
It kind of just kicked off into the next thing.
That was the bolero, is what they called that.
Oh man, we need to do like a part 2 of this shit.
Yeah,
we're gonna need to come
down.
back to like go in depth instead of just like who you are. Like we're gonna need to go like because I have show notes, dude. I have like show notes. We could go in depth about the shows themselves.
Let's do it. Yeah,
like, we skipped over so many like show details that I could really like get nerdy about.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Do we tell the Murfreesboro show?
We didn't. Do we? I think we should.
Do we tell it to end it out?
I think we should.
Our last story to round this out.
I'm telling you.
Real quick, can you just give us like a sentimental one, and then we'll tell this Murfreesboro show story. So I'll give you one sentimental question, and then we're gonna tell this story.
Sure.
And then that is how this episode is gonna end.
Sure.
So, tell us real quick, what does drum corps mean to you?
Golly, what? That's such a loaded question. Because it really is like I said, it was like very influential for me, not in a way that was like, where some people's like, oh, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, so what I want to do is I want to become like an artist or something like that.
Yeah.
Like singing and doing all that kind of stuff. And because, growing up, being someone very like fearful of failing, and all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
I caught the performance bug from drum corps.
Right.
Yeah, and the whole, being on stage and stuff. Yeah. And that's kind of what's been driving me since I've gotten out. But while I was in, it was easily some of the hardest moments, physically and also mentally, not so much emotionally.
So much of it is the mental game, though.
Yes. No, it's huge. The mental strain of just doing like the same thing over and over, but trying to make it better and better each time.
Yeah.
Is so difficult to do. Like, people don't understand. Only those who've really, maybe people in marching band.
Right.
But drum corps is a whole different beast.
Yeah.
It really is a lot more difficult. Mm-hmm. It really taught me how to
challenge yourself, honestly.
Yeah, and it's okay to have things be difficult. Yeah. It really helped me kind of realize also the kind of person I want to be. Yeah. So, like, especially at the end of summers, I would have people come up to me and, like, tell me, like, oh, you were the person I would look up to on the field or whatever. And, you were, like, the vibe. Like, I went
the vibe guy.
Bro, I went to a show 2020? 2021. It was probably 2021. Yeah. Yeah. I went up to a debut show to watch them rehearse and, see the show and everything. Yeah. And afterwards, I was talking with some of the members that I marched with, especially in 2019. They were like, yeah, you were like the person that kind of set the vibe for us, at least the trumpet section. I don't know about the whole the brass. Yeah. But when you were having a bad day, it was just a shit
we
day.
all had a bad day.
Yeah.
But when you were having a fire day, we were on fire.
We were going crazy. And I was like, and I didn't think, you
didn't know it was like that.
Yeah, I just was doing my thing. I was just trying to have fun and stuff. Yeah. And so that kind of opened my eyes to what it's like influencing other people in a way that is, I guess, just how impactful I could be. Right. And that, I don't know if that sounds narcissistic or anything, but I think just
how someone can affect you or how you can affect other people, learning from that. There's so many layers to this activity that you could just go deep into about just and this is why I love talking about it, because I love talking about these parts, about why we actually get to do it, and talking about the different layers that are in it, because I learned, very young, kind of the same type of things. And I remember when it was my time to be done, in 2019, I talk about it all the time, but when I was there Saturday night, we were coming on the field, I see championships, finals across the board, and I'm like, damn, I did it. This was my, and then we do the show, and I'm like, it was never about the score or what group or the placement. It was all these incredible people who were around me all summer, who I got to spend my time with, and who affected me in such a way that made it the best summer I'd ever had at that point.
No, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. Placement and score, it's cool for knowledge, and especially, groups who haven't been in
keeps you
finals.
Motivated for sure throughout a summer. It definitely keeps you engaged and wanting to wake up, every day.
But that's not and you'll have staff that says, oh, it's not the point of it. It's not what you remember. It really isn't the main thing that, you may remember it, but it's not like
I had to look up all the scores to figure out.
I have no idea what I barely remember the placements. I
don't remember either. I just bring it up because I prep and I like to talk about, and maybe, you know, from that.
Yeah,
then
exactly.
it brings it all back, and you're like, oh, I remember that show in Ohio where our drums beat Boston's drum. Oh, you know.
No, actually though. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when OC Brass beat BD in 2017.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, is it because they didn't go on or something?
No, I'm kidding.
I thought it was like,
yeah, our first show out, we beat BD.
They weren't even there, but we beat them.
Mind and body.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. No, it really is the connections. I still talk to some people that I march with every so often. I need to get better at reaching out to people.
Yeah. Hey, this podcast right here.
Hey,
reaching out and being like, hey,
that's true.
You know, hey, we just did this thing. We're talking. You know, reaching back out. I just did this as an excuse to, like, you know, reach back out to people and have something, you know, just to talk to all my people. Because, I mean, with drum corps, I mean, you meet so many people who are all over the country, maybe all over the world.
Yeah.
And you don't know if you're going to get to see them again. Yeah. So, like,
even ever. You know? Yeah, it's really.
Exactly.
And that's, especially at the end of each summer, it's super, and especially at the end of our last summer.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, we didn't know at the time that it was going to be our last one.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, having that, like, realizing at the end of the summer, oh, this group of people will never be in the same, like...
We'll never all be together.
Never all be together. Never perform together. Never just...
We might not see each other ever.
Right.
Any of us ever again. Like, and it's just... And you just go home on that. Like, we could get into a whole story about how insane that concept is of, like, you spend 85 days, 24 hours a day around the same people, and then all of a sudden...
Immediately isolation.
And then it in 2 seconds, someone says, get on the bus or go home, get in your car, you're dismissed. And after all of that, you're just ripped right out of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you're probably not going to see him again.
Yeah.
You can, like, Snapchat or whatever, but, like, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you can plan trips and things, but it's like everyone has their own lives. People are doing things, and it's and the regular world out there is it's just so much different for everybody. It's so much different. It's
drum corps.
You don't make the same connections. It's not the same. People aren't the same. It's not, you know.
Right. It's just we could get into this, and I think that's why we need a part 2.
I think so.
For this one, I think we definitely need a part 2 with this one. A story I want to round out with.
Sure.
Got to tell this story. So this past summer, it was kind of my first summer actually getting back into the activity, because I talked about, I think at the beginning when I started this podcast, that, like, you know, after my summer, my last one in 2019, and COVID happening, you know, took a little time off to kind of reflect on the whole activity, and I was like, I think I need some time away. So I took some time to get away from the activity, see who I was without the activity, because when you're in that cycle, you do it so much over and over again.
And it's hard to not, like, identify yourself.
Right, because you're in that process. You're like, this is the process. I'm going back into it again. Yeah. So, you know, I took some time away from it, you know, went to go see, you know, who I was, what I wanted to do without this. You know, 2023, I'm like, well, I am in town. I am in town for a show.
Yeah.
I'm here. I have a buddy of mine, Joey, who was the lead trumpet soloist for Blue Devils this past summer.
Shout out.
And I was like, I could go see him at the rehearsal, because I know they rehearse there. I know they rehearse at MTSU. So I was like, let's go see the boy, right? I was just going to go see him with my friend Andrew, and I had no intention of going to the show. When I went to go see him at rehearsal the night before, I had no intention. I just wanted to go see a little bit of drum corps. Yeah. Wanted to go see him because he was in town. By the way, he's been on the podcast before, so go check him out. Joey's been on the episode. Joey DeShera.
What's up, Joey?
Episode 7 or 6? ? Go check him out. It was such a fun episode. We also have clips from that episode too, talking about how he became the soloist. It's a hilarious story. It's really good. Yeah, we got the clip of him and how he became.
I'll have to look at it.
It is a great story. But you know, I go to see him with my buddy Andrew, and we go and we watch the rehearsal, and it's great. And I'm like falling back in love with it as I'm watching it. I'm like, oh man, this is. I mean, they're in the best part of the season right now. It's like you know, getting towards the end, you're Atlanta regional season. Like you're in regional season. It's getting to the best part. Like every day is just going by, and you're hitting your peaks and everything. Though. Yeah, like, everything is just hitting its stride fully.
A lot more consistently. Like the consistency is
everything's efficient
at the top, and is
everything's efficient. Everything's like the consistency of performance, like you said, everything's on fire. Watching it, loved it. So I, you know, after the show, I talked to Joey. I'm like, what are the odds? Like, what's the chances I could get into the show. And he's like, because I'm like, I don't have a ticket. I don't know if I'm going. He's like,
and plus it's like for just general admission, it was like $75 or something crazy.
And no,
I mean, drum corps is cool. I'm not trying to spend $75 on a general admission ticket on the fifth, not the 50, bro.
At a school I went to.
Yes, on the end zone.
At a school
Absolutely
I went to, I was like, I was not paying $80.
No way,
I had
dude.
the CEO of DCI on this, like on the podcast, and I'm saying this right now. I'm just saying
Their prices are too high. Sorry, dude. If you ever see this one, too damn expensive.
they're working on it, man.
Are they?
They're working on it.
Ooh, we take those.
We take them. We
take
take
those.
them. But regardless,
I'm sure you're a great person. It's nothing against you personally.
he's gonna be like that little shit.
Banging
But
from everything.
But, you know, I talked to Joey. I'm like, I don't have a ticket. How am I going to the
Yeah.
show? And he's like, I'll give you my pass. I'm like, does that work? And he's like, yeah, you can just take my member pass. And that's how one of my friends in Texas got in. And I was like, sick. Like, okay, well, I guess we're going to the show.
Yeah.
So,
And at the same time, this was like throughout the week, I was like, oh, okay. Because I had a buddy that I marched with in, I think it was just 2019. I don't remember for 2018. Braden, he was tuba that season. BD might have been the season before also.
Oh, okay.
I've been there 2 years.
Right.
I saw BD was going to be in town, and I was like, oh snap! You know, I'd like to at least go to a show because I'm not gonna drive to finals. Like,
No.
you kidding me? You know how much food I can get for that kind of money? Bro, let me tell you. No, I called him up. I was like, hey, you know, I saw you guys are going to be in town. Are you going to rehearse the night before? Because I know a lot of times whenever BD comes down, they actually stay at MTSU.
Right.
Which, first of all, MTSU is a beautiful campus.
Yes. 100%.
And so, you know, getting to rehearse in the stadium.
Perfect.
Bro, that's such a nice stadium.
Perfect stadium and all that. To like 4 drum corps to clean.
Super high box.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, is looking at the prices of the tickets.
Yeah.
And I was like,
hell no.
Hell no.
Respect. Hell no respect.
Hell no in game. But yeah, and I was like, could I
snag
get your pass? Yeah, or do you have like an extra pass or anything? And he was like, I don't have an extra one, but you can just use mine. And I'm like, on God?
Oh,
you know, like straight up? He's like, yeah, dude, absolutely.
Straight up.
Let's go. So I was like, all right, sick. So, and I didn't get it until, I want to say they weren't warming up. They were the rehearsal of the day of the show.
Oh,
I went there and I watched them the rehearsal, and then afterwards I kind of went up to him. He was like, yeah, he handed it to me.
Nice.
The
I
handoff.
literally got mine when the show was starting. Like, not their show, but like the whole Murfreesboro show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Music City was going on, and like I pulled up to the school and I was like, Joey, like just called him. I was like, where the fuck he at? I need that pass.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So yeah, we got there. I got there, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna got there a little early because I enjoyed the lots a lot.
Yeah.
The shows are cool, but I enjoyed the lots.
I had never gotten to see lots. That was my first time getting.
Really?
That was my first time getting to watch a drum corps lot.
See, what you got to do, honestly, WGI lots, Dayton finals.
No, but Dayton lots are pretty hype,
bro. Those
Dayton
lots go hard.
Dayton lots.
That's where I fell in love with lots. I was like, no, lots are supreme. Lots are supreme.
Respect.
So we got there, you know, looking at lots. I was walking around and I see this guy with Blue Knights jersey on. I'm like, oh snap, let's go. You know, previously marched Blue Knights.
I was watching. I just went around to all the lots because I had never done it. I was with my buddy Andrew and his girlfriend, and I was like, they're like, all right, so where do we go? And I'm like, guys, I haven't been on this side like ever. I've always been in the show.
In the arc.
I've never gone to the show, like, unless like it was way back when I go see my brother. In that case, we would just go right into the show. We wouldn't watch. And I'm like, I remember where people I'm like, we could go to these areas. I took him to like 3 wrong places before we actually found a drum corps. I was like, oh, this looks like a good spot where people would warm up. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, honestly, it's especially at shows. It's funny where techs take their subsections.
Yeah.
They'll go into like the middle of the woods.
That could be a whole like section on a podcast from like a tech is like, what's your decision in taking?
Yeah, bro. Yes.
How do you decide?
100%. That would be amazing.
That's what we have to get into.
Yes.
These are the important questions.
Yes.
So basically, we find Crown. They're doing their Vish warm up. We watch that.
Yeah. And I walk up and I'm like,
my buddy Andrew didn't even know what was going on. He's like, are they going to play? And I'm like, no, they're doing Vish. They're doing Vish right now. And he's like, why aren't they? I'm like, they do Vish. They're doing Vish.
Bro, visual
first, and then they're going to get there.
Visual.
So then, you know, they're moving over. I'm like, Blue Stars is over there. Let's go. I hear them. I'm like, let's go over there.
Okay,
we start watching.
Blue Stars, you're right.
We start watching Blue Stars.
Yeah.
And then I don't even.
Yeah, I think I see. I'm like, oh, is that Jeffrey? Is that is that the holy shit? So I walk up and I'm like, I don't remember if I like put my hand on your shoulder or something like that, and I was like,
it was crazy.
Or I said some comment like, they're not, some comment like, they look kind of bad today or whatever. Just not knowing what's going on, but just saying a comment just to be, obnoxious.
I forgot what it was, but I just remember I was just like,
no, this dude looks over, he's like, huh? Holy! I was like, what's up? Yeah, and I was like, what's up? Yeah, so we just started hanging out. And
I had seen so many people at that point. I was just it was just crazy because I was just like, another? I was like, what?
Another?
What? So we started hanging out from there, and we went over to kind of watch Crown brass warm up.
Yeah,
and then we had a person come over and stop me. Shout out Christina Stevens.
Shout out
Christina Stevens. She's incredible. Actually helped me out with a lot with getting in contact with flow marching. So shout out her. She's incredible. She is working for Music for All, I'm pretty sure right now. Nice. A little marketing person. She's great. But she came up and she was like, "Are you Jeffrey?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, "Who are you?" Because I had no idea. She just came up and be like, "You did Blue Nights." And I was like, "I definitely did."
No, honestly, I could see it. I could see in his eyes. He was like, "How do you know this? Who are you?" Yeah.
As she started explaining everything, I was like, yes, okay, I get it now. Because she came on for the photography team for BK in 2022. So I was like, oh, yeah, right before I basically quit. I was like, I do remember you getting on staff, so I remember that. But we ended up talking to her for 25 minutes.
Yeah. She was dope.
We talked to her through the whole Crown warm-up.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember.
I don't remember a single thing about that. Mm-hmm. No. So that warm-up literally finishes, and we're like, okay, I think we're going to go to the stadium.
Yeah.
So we start booking it down to the stadium.
Yeah, and at this point, there'd already been a few shows that have gone on. It's kind of getting the later half.
Yeah.
I want to say it was
almost halfway.
Was it after or before intermission?
I think we got in there for Crown, and then it went to intermission.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Because I think we got into the stadium. We started walking around. We got to the bottom level, and it was Crown going on.
Yeah.
And they were they're getting on the field. They're about to perform. So we're like, all right, let's watch. A couple of my buddies were there too. And we watched Crown. We watched Crown from the floor level. And we're like, all right, let's go find a seat up top. I think we went and tried 3 spots. Yeah. We just have passes. We don't have a seat.
Yeah. So we just had to look for seats that were open. And so we would find seats and just be like,
sit in them.
Are these your seats? Or they would ask us oh, are you sitting here? And we're like, yeah, no, we're going to take those.
There was this one guy. We sat down. And we
sat down, got comfortable, first of all.
We started watching, and then he's like, what's your guys' seats again? And we were like, we just, I think we were I don't even, we were just
we said
or something like that.
We just had a pass.
We're members or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, part of the staff or whatever.
Yeah, and he was just like, well, there's people sitting there. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, cool. Because we had heard it before, so we're like, all right, cool, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, I think someone before had said that they were open. All right, cool, dope.
So we sit down.
Free seats.
This guy is like, someone's sitting there. So we bounce. My 2 friends, Andrew and his girlfriend, they both go, sit in the same spot, sit there for the entire show of Crown.
The dude doesn't say anything before or after the show.
Not one word, dude. I'm like, what?
I was like, are you kidding me right now?
Pissed.
What is it? Actually,
so then from there, after Crown goes on, we're trying to figure out where are we going to go from here. How are we going to get to any seat?
Yeah. So we try to head up to the top of the stands.
We should try to go up top.
Yeah.
So we try to go up top. We're walking around. We get to a top level, and we start standing around near around the press box area, right underneath the press box.
The top kind of bleachers area.
Yeah. And we start sitting there, and I have a good friend of mine who was working in the booth that night.
Yeah.
Who was helping out with the announcers.
Yeah.
And shout out Senna. Without her,
Senna's a beast.
None of this would have been possible.
Actually,
literally, none of this would have been possible. So from there, I just take a shot in the dark, and I'm like, hey Zach, I think I got a friend up there who's working in there tonight. Let me give her a call. Yeah. And I give her a call. I'm like,
I was like, oh snap, is that Senna?
I'm like, I'm down here. Yeah.
We were like, hey, we're down. We're down to your left or whatever. And then she was looking out the window for the longest time that she saw us.
So I'm like, what are the chances we can get up there? What are the odds we can get up there?
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know. I mean, you could just go through the elevator and try your luck, right?
Well, was it that, or did she invite us?
And there was a certain way we had to go.
Yeah. There's only one way to the press box, and it's from you go under the bleachers, and there's a street, And then on the other side of the street.
Oh my God, I forgot that. Yeah, there's that whole thing
on the other
too.
side of the street, there's a single elevator.
One.
That goes.
Well,
they were
security guard people.
There were 2 elevators, but they're right next to each other on the same like column.
Yes.
And yeah, there are 2 security guard people on either side.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to get to the boxes.
And we walk out. So she's like, if you can get past the security guards, you can get up here. And we were like, so the whole way down, because we're at the top, we have to go down and out and to this thing. The whole time we're game planning. What are we gonna say?
Yeah.
What's our game plan? Because this is
we were talking about it.
We don't have a seat. We don't have shit. We didn't pay for shit.
Yeah, and so the badges that we had, so they were, like we said, they were from members of the Blue Devils.
Yes.
And so what we did, I was like, we were talking, and Jeffrey was like, I'm awful at lying.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I am awful. So I'm.
Yeah. I was like,
I don't know what to do, and I was like, all right. I was thinking a little bit. I was like, all right, I could spearhead this. Let's do it. And so we went up to the
elevator. We just took our shot and we just walked straight up there with no hesitation. Like, all
and
confidence.
They were like, oh, what floor do you need to go to? And we were like, oh shit.
Yeah, we were like, there's which floor are they on? We didn't even ask about
other
which
floors.
Floor.
Yeah. And I was like, I think 3 or 4. And the lady goes, there's no one on 3. And we're like, oh, then I guess it's 4. Yeah,
4.
We were told 3 or 4, and so I couldn't remember exactly which one.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, okay, then it's probably 4. I'm like,
good.
Cool, yeah. And we were saying that with our badges, we were saying that we were part of BD's media team.
And we needed to go collect SD cards.
SD cards, or put SD cards up there for their show.
Yes.
So we can record it, as a core would.
Mm-hmm. As this is happening, as we're making our explanation and they're trying to figure out who we are, there's a guy that comes over who we later figure out, because finally we talk our way into the elevator.
Yeah.
Luckily, 3 people that I knew who were in BOB who were working that event also came over on the golf cart and were like, Jeffrey! So, like, I had to be like, shut the fuck up. Because I was like, you don't know me. Shut up, BD right now.
I'm with BD.
Don't blow my cover. But it created enough distraction that they were just like, BD, okay, cool. She just pressed the button. Elevator opens. Yeah. We talk our way into the elevator. We're like, oh my God, okay. We start reading the descriptions of each floor because we're like, we gotta go to. We should go to 4.
There were I think floors 3, 4, 5, and 6 or something like that.
Like it went super for no reason.
It is a big ass box.
It's insane how many levels there are to this. We didn't no idea, so we're just like, okay, let's press 4. Because there's also someone in the elevator who goes.
Yeah, one of the security guards goes in there with you.
Yeah.
When you go in there.
What floor? And why?
And I realized part of the reason why we were able to get in is because they didn't really know what an SD card was and how all that kind of stuff works. And I was like, let's go. Nice.
Yeah.
We go in. Yeah. The person goes in there, presses 4, and start going up. Go to level 4, get out, and it would look like just storage. Yeah. Just boxes everywhere. And we're like.
So we take a walk and we start getting into these other press boxes because there's other people from MTSU in the School of Music who are like working or helping out as runners or whatever, who are working there. Shout out Dr. Hawkins, because we definitely made eye contact while we walked by. We walked by one of the booths, one of the doors, and we went by, and I remember I went to look and see who was in there, and he like immediately looks at me, and I'm like, Zach, we got to go to the bottom floor.
He was like, we got to get out of here. We got to get now. We got to go now.
The bottom floor. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I just saw everybody. I'm like, we got to go.
Yeah, he was like, there were so many people here from MTSU. If they will know that I am
should not be here. Yes.
And I was like, yeah, all right, let's go. And so we go back, and the lady was still, the security guard was still in there.
We got to talk about the guy, though, that who went in the elevator with us the first time. It was so funny because he's talking to us about who we are. He's like, who are you guys with? We're like, BD Media Team. We're bringing SD cards up. Yes. And this poor kid, he's like, we're like, what are you here for? What do you do? He's like, I'm shadowing Dan Potter. Dan Potter is the announcer. And I'm pretty sure, right? Dan Potter. That sounds right. Dan Potter. It'll be, Dan Potter sounds right.
If it's not right.
It's Dan Potter, I swear to God.
It's Dan Potter.
So the kid's like, I'm shadowing Dan tonight because I'm announcing.
He's going to be an announcer, yeah.
I'm announcing the Atlanta Regional tomorrow. We're like, dude, you're announcing the Atlanta. That's great, man. Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's my first time getting to do that. Like, that's
first time
awesome.
Announcing, and he's announcing the Atlanta Regional.
And he just got hired by DCI.
Yeah. And those who don't know, the Atlanta Regional takes place in the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Yeah, so like
the Falcon Stadium,
the brand new one,
trillions of dollars. Yeah. The nice one.
Yeah. So that's his first day on the job is the regional.
Yeah.
And this is his first day also as an employee of DCI. We are telling him a complete
big ol' lie.
A big lie. And he knows. He's kind of
I feel like he was kind of like, okay.
All
right, whatever.
Because the thing was I think he got off at a floor and we went up to the next one. And then that's when we had the whole thing. We were like, got to go back down.
Yeah.
We go back down. And we were like, we tell the lady because she's like,
she's still in there.
And we're like, we missed the wrong floor.
Yeah, I guess it was 3. We thought it was 4, but we didn't find him up there. So it was 3.
We make our way out.
And she was like, I don't know if she was suspicious or not, because I want to say
like,
I want to say we pulled it off and we were like, she was like, all right.
She's just telling some like ghost story about I've been in this damn elevator all night, like, and we're just like, that is terrible.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
damn,
sympathizing.
I'm so sorry.
Which that does suck, just being in an elevator the whole time.
But get me out of here.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Just take me to where I'm trying to go.
Get me out of here. And so we get off the elevator. I text Senna. I'm like, what box are we supposed to go to? What door are we supposed to go to? She goes, all the way to the end. We go all the way to the end. We see her. We're like, wow. And she's like, okay. She comes out really quick. She's like, you guys cannot say anything. Yeah. Like, you guys can't say a single word. Yeah. Like, just stay in this box. You can turn the light on. Just chill.
Yeah.
No one will say anything.
Because she was in the box with the announcer doing the audio for it.
So she's helping like cue and like the whole bit. She's helping out with everything of just like cues and when to talk and whatnot and all this good stuff. So, yeah, she's like, you guys just be quiet. No one will say a word to you.
Yeah.
We are sitting right next to Dan Potter. It's definitely Dan Potter, by the way. Like the legendary DCI announcer. Yeah. Besides, like, of course, Brant Crocker or whatever the hell his name is. The guy who actually does finals. That guy. Yeah. But Dan Potter usually does a lot of the regionals. Yeah. So,
amazing voice, by the way.
We are literally from Dan Potter.
Literally just like
the guy.
Wall and then like plexiglass. Not even like actual glass, but like
plexiglass for sure. And it is Dan Potter.
Yeah.
And it is one of the coolest experiences because we got to watch Phantom, Boston, somebody else, I think.
Blue Coats.
They did the standstill after.
Oh, okay,
BD, though.
Yeah, because half the people were sick.
But then we watched BD up top too. We got to see amazing groups up top. And the coolest thing was while we're watching this, we get to have our own discourse and just talk about the show from the best vantage point in the stadium.
100%.
By far.
Yeah.
And then we're right next to Dan Potter, who is having the time of his life. And it's so funny because you get to hear the people in the box, how they talk when shows are happening. He's telling everybody in the booth, he's like, guys, I've watched this. Check this moment out. And he like right before it happens, he's like, hey, this is a really cool moment. You guys want to check this out? And like when moments are happening, he's like, he's
getting into it.
Mic's off, but he's just been like, oh my God. Like watching Dan Potter react to these shows, it was really amazing because you always just think like, hey, I'm just here to do my job. All right, cool. Like he is like keyed in on like everybody out there and he's just having the time of his life like all of us.
Very clearly they're all for the job, but also because he enjoys it.
Loves it. You can tell being next to him, man. It was just a treat watching next to him. Cool. And if Dan Potter ever watches this, we would love to come sit next to you in the box again.
Yeah, I was
another regional. Maybe a little pre-show.
Hey, let's
do
go.
A little action with Dan Potter. We could have a little, because definitely
this time we may not have a plexiglass between us. We can actually like converse.
We did get to say hi. We got to peek in the room and say, "Hey, Dan, what's up?" We did. We marched in the activity. Good to see you. You announced us a couple times.
Yeah.
But the funny part I thought was I did some out of pocket shit. So BD comes on. I'm cheering for my friend Joey. I'm just like, man, Zach, we gotta cheer for Joey, dude. We're at the top. We are at the top, dude.
I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Right here.
Oh no, we can't. We open the window because there's like a window you can. So we just shoot. Open that up, and it's dead silence. They're waiting to get and now are your drum majors ready? Whatever the fuck. Dead silence, and we're just like, let's go, Joey! From the press box. You're definitely not supposed to do that. Is definitely then it seems like favoritism from the box. So then they're like, who's doing that from the box, right? Yeah. Definitely rigged. I rigged it.
That's why they won that one.
So basically, we can say that they won a ring because of us.
Pretty much. They won 2020. They won this past summer?
Yes. So we basically helped them get a ring.
BD, you're welcome.
We're going to need rings.
That's all we got to say.
I'm just saying.
I expect a ring by Christmas.
We definitely got some GE points.
Size 9.5.
I'm not going to lie. So we did that. I remember we did that too. We screamed down. We're like, let's go, Joey.
And right afterwards, it was still silent. We're
Dan Potter,
oh shit.
Dan Potter goes. We yell. We're like, let's go. Dan Potter goes.
He looks over and is like,
what are you guys saying? And we're like, oh shit, Dan. Dan, no, don't say anything.
And I think we did time it to where he wasn't live.
Talking yet. But the thing is, it's like his mic is right here, and we're going.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like,
and so we were like looking over and making sure it was like it wasn't active, it wasn't live or anything, and so we were like, let's go, Joey!
Yeah, and it was funny because then at that point, the kid who we originally talked to in the elevator comes over during the show to talk to us. Yeah. And he's like, you guys aren't from the BD media team. And we're like, no, surprise.
Yeah, no, we literally we're like, yeah, no, absolutely not.
We haven't been this whole time.
We really are not.
We used to march in the activity though. And he was just like, I don't even care. Like he was so disappointed because it was his first day on the job. He's like, I've had such a long day. Like he's like, I got to do stuff tomorrow because the regional was the next day. Yeah. Like, so he's just I got to do the regional tomorrow. Like, hey man,
best of luck to you.
We just thank you for being cool, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, good luck tomorrow. And he's like, you guys are evil. We're like, good luck tomorrow, man. You're going to do great. So, that was our Murfreesboro story about how we
weaseled our way into the box.
So, yeah, if you ever want to weasel your way into the box, just get a pass from somebody.
Get a good story.
Get a really good story. Get a good story and be convincing.
The story.
Yes.
Be the story.
Can that be the title of this podcast?
Be the story.
Be the story. That's incredible. And with that, this is going to be the end of this episode.
Part 1 of 40.
Part 1 of 40. We have to come back and do another one sometime when we got some more time to just like kick back and really get into the details.
Do like a 7-hour podcast or something.
I really can. I swear to God. People are like, how can you talk? I really can. I can go on and on about so many different things.
Because it's so, you have a lot more knowledge about the history of drum corps. I honestly really only paid attention to like the years I marched.
Right. Which were great years, by the way. It was an era in its own. It was an era in its own of drum corps. Like the thing is like our year was the first year of a brand new era. And then when we were done, it was also the start of a brand new era because of COVID.
Because of COVID,
post-COVID. How that going to work out? So like we had, the new uniforms design step up. That was all of our era. We were the new era that people didn't like because of the electronics, the uniforms, and all that.
Yeah. So, especially 2016 with blue coats.
Oh my God, yeah. Especially with the
trees.
Onesie. Oregon 2016, dude. Yeah. But this has been an incredible episode.
Forgot about the trees.
Yeah, dude.
Forgot about the trees. The trees.
You can forget about them. It's okay. You can definitely forget about them.
Let's go back to forgetting about them.
Yeah, let's forget about them. But this has been an incredible episode. This has been episode 12 of the Meet the Best podcast. We've had some incredible interviews as of late. Come out with the CEO of DCI, Nathan Boudreau. We've had Keith Ty on the podcast, who marched with Crown 13 to 16, taught me in 2019 with Blue Knights. Now teaches for Cavaliers. We've had some incredible people on the podcast. Please go check those out. We have clips now. We're everywhere.
You're killing it, dude. It's so cool to see like all the people you're bringing in. I'm like,
that's fun.
That's fucking cool.
I'm excited for the future of it, man. We got names in the new year. I'm telling you guys, you guys are not ready for this, bro. I know a lot of drum corps say that. I swear to God, you're not ready for us this year. But the new year, 2024, for this podcast, we are going to have some heavy hitters coming on this podcast. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to talk about it. So until then, though, this has been episode 12. My guest, Zach Adams. He will definitely be on the podcast again. We're going to have him on for another part of this. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Zach Adams, episode 12 of the Meet the Best podcast. And we will see you next week.
UDB sponsor this dude.
UDB.
That's all I'm saying.
Follow me.
Girl from Ipanema was walking in. When she walks,